Hey guys, um, today I'm gonna do a television show review on the show MacGyver. It is the reboot, or it's definitely not a continuation, but the reboot of MacGyver. Now, a little history: I was born in '81, and I was a kid when MacGyver was on. I think the tail end of the series I was able to watch them live. The rest were in syndication or reruns. But I loved MacGyver. Loved MacGyver. You can ask my parents. Growing up, I used to take things apart and try to build stuff. I was always trying to think of ways to MacGyver things. In fact, MacGyvering became it's been years since an English class, but what is it? A verb? Instead of saying, oh, I gotta fix something, it was like, oh, I gotta MacGyver it. I had a cat growing up that I named MacGyver. In fact, I remember even as a kid arguing with my dad because he's like, I'm not naming the cat MacGyver. And I go, Dad, it's my cat. I can name him whatever I want. Well, I think maybe Well, it helped that I'd already named the cat because my parents were going out of town on a church trip with the youth group. They were sponsors, and we were staying at my aunt's house, and she was going to get a cat, and when we went there, it was like out in the country, there's a barn full of cats with kittens, and they were free, and she was getting a cat, and I picked up this one cat, started playing with it, and it kept following me around, and when my aunt, the lady told him, goes, yeah, that one's mom was eaten by a coyote or something, and so it doesn't have his mom, and it kept following me around, and my aunt was like, okay, Matt, you're getting a cat. And we took the cat to the vet, and to get its shots and everything, and then my aunt called my parents, because they hadn't left yet, called my parents, goes, hey, can your kids get a cat? And my parents were like, no, we're not getting a cat, and my aunt goes, well, there's a problem. The cat's already at the vet, getting shots and everything. I think she's like, I'm paying for the shots and everything. And, we got the cat, and I'd already named it MacGyver. And that was the best cat we ever had. And I mean, I loved the show MacGyver. And in fact, when I found out they were rebooting the show MacGyver, I went on Netflix, and I've been catching up. I believe I'm on season 3 of MacGyver. I've been catching up on the series. And it's funny, now I can watch it and be like, okay, well, he's going to do this to get out of it. He's going to do that to get out of it. And I remember some of the episodes, I was like, oh, I briefly remember that. Some of the episodes as a kid, remember when the music would start and show the intro and show him doing little things. As a kid, I would always be like, I want to see that episode. Well, now I get to see that episode again. But, so I get to, I'm getting caught up on that, and I've been watching the new series, which I'm up to date on. I believe they come out Friday nights, the new episodes. With me being a lover of MacGyver, this new thing is not MacGyver. Yes, MacGyver had a team. He had Peter Thornton, but Peter Thornton was the guy who would send him on things. And which there's a Thornton here, but it's a female, which that's fine. I'm fine with that. I was kind of hoping they would make the actor, I'm horrible with names, but the actor who played MacGyver, make him the Peter Thornton. But I'm fine with them making a female instead of a male. I have no problem with that. But the thing I don't like, MacGyver has a team. Okay? In this new episode, he has a team. He has one of the guys who was on NCIS, the guy's a great actor, but he is a former Army Special Forces that goes everywhere with MacGyver. I mean, goes everywhere with MacGyver. And that wasn't MacGyver back in the day. MacGyver went places with himself, and he would use his intellect to get out of things. Well, his intellect and a Swiss Army knife to get out of things. I'll get in on the Swiss Army knife in a minute. But now he has a former Army Special Forces with him. So he has the muscle with him. And it's like, I mean, that's not MacGyver. And not only that, he has a computer hacker with him who always hacks. Like, he's like, oh, I need this. And she gets on the computer. Oh, I hacked into the security system and opened this door. That's not MacGyver. MacGyver would go by himself and figure it out by himself. Now they have a computer hacker who, on the earpiece or whatever, he's like, oh, I need you to hack the security system, or I need you to hack the lights, or I need you to hack this, and done. I'm like, really? So he has a team that go everywhere with him. So it's MacGyver, former Army Special Forces, and a computer hacker. Goes everywhere with him. And then, yes, it's the Phoenix Foundation, but he came up with the name of the Phoenix Foundation. So I'm like, okay. Oh, and not only that, MacGyver, his places were always cool. It was either, right on the beach above a yogurt shop, or it was above a shop in like a huge loft. No, he has a roommate who is like comic relief, and the roommate doesn't know what he does. So that's kind of like, I'm like, it really shows him, and the roommate is wanting to be a film director, so he has MacGyver putting ping pong balls on his face to orient for the CGI, doing all this stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's not MacGyver. But he does have the Swiss Army knife, which I was kind of hoping, because I'd always think, since the Gerbers and the Multi-Tools and the Leathermans came out, I always thought that he might have one of these. Like, every time I go to use this, I'm like, I wonder if MacGyver was around, if they did MacGyver today, if he'd have one of these. But no, he still has the Swiss Army knife, which I'm okay with, even though to me it seems outdated. But yeah, I'm okay with that. But it's just like, golly, like, the new show is not MacGyver. It's MacGyver in name only, even though they did keep the same music for the intro. I really like that. And the paper clips, they have a little thing, like at the Phoenix Foundation, the briefing room, a big ball of paper clips, and he's always grabbing into it, and, he's bending stuff, and, with it, and then it always shows a close-up. When they get done with the briefing, he sets it down, and it's a broken heart, or it's like two infinity symbols interlocked, or it's something that ties in with the thing, and I'm like, that's not MacGyver. This show is not MacGyver. He has a team with him. I'm like, all this is another one of those cop dramas or whatever, where it's a team. Hey, buddy, I got your back. Oh, we got computer backup, blah, blah, blah. This is not MacGyver. Okay? I am watching the episode. I am hopeful to see them kind of throw in, like, I would love to see a Murdoch. Love to see that. I would love to see his old buddy that did the fly-by-night airplane delivery, who would always, his left eye would twitch when he was lying. I'd love to see some guy do that, and I would love to see the actor who played MacGyver do a cameo, just as something. But right now, the only homage to the original MacGyver is a Swiss Army knife and the music, and that's it. They did do one episode where he would he used jumper cables and a battery and coins to make a welder. Well, in this, instead of making a welder, they use that to make a cutting torch. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. So, but my hopes and dreams are dashed by the fact that this is not MacGyver. So, I was so excited when they were bringing back MacGyver. But this new show is not MacGyver. Evidently, the ratings were good enough they ordered a full season for it. But I'm hoping it'll get better. But right now, it's a team. It's a buddy cop show, and that's not what MacGyver is. So, but that's my thoughts on the show MacGyver. Oh, I almost spilled that. Let me get up and turn you off.